Imagine this: you're running late, hop into your car, turn the key, and nothing. Just that dreaded click or complete silence. A dead car battery is one of the most common and frustrating automotive problems. But don't panic. In this comprehensive guide, we're going to walk you through every step of safely jump-starting your car, getting you back on the road without needing a tow. Stay tuned, because knowing these steps can save you time, money, and a lot of headaches. So, why do car batteries die? There are several culprits. Leaving your headlights on overnight is a classic. But it could also be something less obvious, like a faulty alternator not charging the battery while you drive, or even a parasitic drain from an electrical component that stays on when it shouldn't. Cold weather significantly reduces battery capacity, making older or weaker batteries more susceptible to failure. Understanding these common causes helps in preventing future incidents. But for now, let's focus on reviving your current situation. Before we even think about touching cables, safety must be your absolute priority. You're dealing with electricity and corrosive chemicals. Always wear safety glasses and gloves to protect your eyes and hands. Ensure both vehicles are turned off, in park or neutral, with their parking brakes engaged. Do not smoke near the battery, as batteries can emit flammable hydrogen gas. Keep children and pets away from the work area. Taking a moment for these precautions can prevent serious injury or damage. Now, let's gather what you'll need for this emergency procedure. First and foremost, you'll need a good set of jumper cables. Make sure they are heavy-gauge cables, as thinner ones might not conduct enough current, or could even overheat. You'll also need a donor vehicle with a fully charged battery, preferably one that's similar in size or larger than your car. Additionally, having a pair of work gloves, safety glasses, and maybe even a flashlight if it's dark can make the process much safer and easier. With your tools ready and safety measures in place, the next step is positioning the donor car. Park the donor vehicle close enough to the disabled car so that the jumper cables can easily reach both batteries, but without the vehicles touching. Often, this means parking nose to nose or side by side. Once in position, ensure both cars are turned off, in park or neutral, and their parking brakes are firmly engaged. This stable setup is crucial for safe cable connection. Before connecting anything, it's vital to correctly identify the positive and negative terminals on both batteries. The positive terminal is usually marked with a plus sign and often has a red cap or cable. The negative terminal is marked with a minus sign and typically has a black cap or cable. Familiarize yourself with both batteries, ensuring you can clearly see and access these terminals. This avoids confusion and potential short circuits during the connection process. Now we start with the actual connections. Take the red jumper cable. Attach one end of the red clamp to the positive terminal of your dead car's battery. Ensure the clamp has a firm, secure connection to the metal terminal, not just the plastic cover. This is the first and most critical connection in the sequence, establishing the initial flow path from the donor to the receiving battery when the circuit is completed. Next, take the other end of the red jumper cable. Attach this clamp to the positive terminal of the donor car's battery. Again, double-check that the clamp is securely fastened to the metal terminal. At this point, the positive terminals of both batteries are linked. Remember, we still haven't connected the negative side, so there's no current flow yet. This step prepares the circuit for the final connection. Moving to the black jumper cable, attach one end of the black clamp to the negative terminal of the donor car's battery. Just like with the positive connections, ensure a tight grip. This establishes the negative path from the live battery. Now, one end of both red and black cables are connected to the donor car's battery. The final connection, the negative for the dead car, is where we deviate slightly for safety. This is a critical safety step. Do not connect the remaining black clamp directly to the negative terminal of the dead battery. Instead, connect the black clamp to a clean, unpainted metal surface on the engine block or frame of the dead vehicle. This ground point should be away from moving parts, the battery itself, and the fuel system. This method helps to dissipate any sparks away from the battery, which could potentially vent flammable hydrogen gas. Before starting either vehicle, take a moment to double-check all your connections. Ensure all 4 clamps are securely attached: red to positive on the dead car, red to positive on the donor car, black to negative on the donor car, and black to a metal ground on the dead car. Confirm that no cables are dangling or touching moving parts of the engine. This quick verification can prevent damage to the vehicles or yourself. Once all connections are secure, you can now start the donor vehicle. Let it run for 5 to 10 minutes. This allows the donor car's alternator to provide a charge to its own battery, and also to the jumper cables, sending some initial power to the dead battery. This pre-charge period can significantly increase the chances of a successful jump start, and reduces the strain on the donor vehicle's electrical system. After the donor car has been running for a few minutes, try to start your dead car. Turn the key or press the start button. If it doesn't start immediately, wait a minute or 2 and try again. Avoid cranking the engine for more than 10 to 15 seconds at a time to prevent overheating the starter motor. If it starts, congratulations! Keep both vehicles running for a few more minutes to allow the dead battery to get a bit more charge. Once your car has successfully started, it's time to disconnect the jumper cables, but in the reverse order of connection. First, remove the black clamp from the ground point on the now running car. Then, remove the black clamp from the negative terminal of the donor car. Next, remove the red clamp from the positive terminal of the donor car. Finally, remove the red clamp from the positive terminal of your car. This reverse sequence minimizes the risk of short circuits or sparks. With your car running, do not turn it off immediately. Drive it for at least 20 to 30 minutes, or let it idle for an equivalent amount of time, to allow the alternator to fully recharge the battery. It's a good idea to drive directly to an auto parts store or mechanic to have your battery and charging system tested. This will determine if the battery is simply old and needs replacement, or if there's an underlying issue with your alternator or another electrical component. If your car still won't start after multiple attempts, or if it dies again shortly after the jump start, it's time to call for professional roadside assistance. There might be a more serious issue than just a drained battery. To prevent future dead battery scenarios, remember to turn off all lights and accessories when exiting your vehicle, avoid leaving your car dormant for extended periods, and have your battery tested annually, especially before winter. A little preventative maintenance goes a long way.